We've made this clear from the start to you and to the council. These are temporary structures which require no planning permission. However, they can be removed, as you can see, at very short notice. Just please don't damage us on the way out. You know, we want a peaceful protest, and hopefully we're going to have one.
Just excuse me 1 second. Do you have any questions while I'm on the phone to the boss? I'll just tell you.
Can we have power?
Your request, we are dealing about it.
Yes!
I've just been...
We've got power!
No, your request is being thought of.
Oh, sorry, too soon. They're thinking.
The decision will be made. We've got a feedback to our strategic director, and that will be part of
We're willing to pay for it. There's no reason why it couldn't be done.
The issues are around health and safety and how we would get it to you.
We're going to use the plugs that are in the floor there, and we're going to be using laptops, a projector, and at times, in agreement with the police, a stereo. That's it. So you're not looking at kilowatts, you're not looking at kettles, cookers, washing machines, Dale Farm style.
Your request will be made to the strategic director and make the decision, so we will feed that back to you.
Roughly how long is it going to make? Roughly how long is it going to take?
Once we've had dialogue with yourself, Rachel, obviously.
Yeah. So it's today sometime? Thank you, appreciate that.
We'll be able to come back with, obviously, greater study.
Brilliant. Because if not, we will have to plug a generator from somewhere, and that's going to create noise and pollution and so on and so forth. And if you move us off, we're going to stop somewhere else. It's like the traveller problem. You can't just keep moving it along. In fact, that's partly what inspired us to do it. I'm just saying, Wall Street. You know, they've had really good success. And I'm sure you lot, deep down, you hate the bankers as much as we do. That's what this is about, really.
Just in, I wasn't.
I know that a great deal of these officers do. I know that a great deal of these officers do.
They may be related to bankers. Who knows?
Well, then kick them up the arse and tell them what you've caused down here on Albert Square and everywhere else. Sorry.
It's okay. In relation to, and I think it would be good for us to be able to go back to our own line managers.
Yeah.
Can you go through us in more detail in relation to the defined parameters that you anticipate that this protest will cover in terms of the ground itself?
Certainly, I can illustrate a little bit more about how it will grow if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, and that's
if it does grow. See the beautiful mosaic circles there with the hexagon at the front. Mm-hmm. I'm anticipating that the front of the PR tent, which will be like the front desk, will be there, and that the majority of the current structures will be either to the sides or behind there. We've worked it out. We've come out to about here, and the same distance on the other side, so that it's less of an obstruction to crossing traffic, which seems to be the most common traffic that's going that way. So you want a wide thoroughfare here. You want to get vehicles in and out. You've got the PAUs, they park here. We need that to happen. We need law and order. If it does grow, it will grow towards the back of the statue and within its current limits, using small tents like the red one that you can see there.
Just like a tent.
Any and all structures are temporary, as you can see. We have no intention whatsoever to create a permanent occupation on this land.
Kind of permanent or semi-permanent.
However, if due political process begins, if perhaps the country comes up with a vote of no confidence and things start changing immediately, which we're hoping, then it may well become the centre of a revolution here in this city. And we would hope that you would support us in that, but only if the message is received positively, only if we feel as though we're going to make a difference by doing this. If the Tory party conference ends and everything is the way it is and we still get bad press, then evict us, shift us. We'll go peacefully. Okay? We really would appreciate power. It's going to make the biggest difference. That is going to help this go by peacefully. A lot of people are almost expecting it now because of the positive relations that we've had with the police. The police aren't treating this as a criminal act or a criminal offence or anything of the sort. So really we should be entitled to pay for electricity like any other event that you might hold here in the name of peace or solidarity or anything else.
Would be nice if it was offered free.
Sorry, it would be nice if it was free, obviously. obviously.
It'd be part of your democratic
But at
duties.
the cost of electricity, for the price of a computer and a projector, we're not going to balk at that if they are going to play that
Well,
game.
it gets a really cold night, you might want some heaters on.
Forget heaters. No way we're huddling the town hall steps and in the toilets. Oh, by the way, we are already grateful for the fact that you've kept the toilets open.
Oh, thank
very,
you.
very grateful for this fact. And we're also grateful for the sensitive policing, as I've stated more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. I've stated it over the PA when we had the PA, saying it all evening, especially after we made the deal and the TAUs left. We felt on top of the world, we were ecstatic. And I was stood here talking to Sergeant Gallagher for like an hour, and it was just person-to-person conversation. The guy is a star.
You are human after all.
Yes, and that's what this is taught me.
Can I just clarify one aspect in relation to the structures that you're erecting? I appreciate this.
Certainly, yeah.
The temporary. One of the concerns from my end in terms of preventing any criminality taking place is how you are securing that to the ground. Because if
It's all loose, go and kick it around a bit.
I'm just saying, if for example, it's so you can communicate to those members who actually like to turn up.
Right. We will enforce, and if we can't enforce, we will ask you to help us enforce. That's already been agreed.
If, for example, the tents are being secured by hammering into the ground within the cobbled area, etc.
That's bang out of order. That's damaging the property.
Exactly.
That's the first thing I would have said, regardless of what you just said to me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
We have
And that's
utmost respect for
where-
this. I
where
stood
we
for
are.
elections twice. I like this council, or I used to before I was homeless. But that's another issue.
Sorry to interrupt, but in order to prevent any issues from those who like to tent, who obviously aren't on the same wavelength, you can communicate that in relation to if there are additional tents being erected to facilitate your protest. It's not to obviously create any damage.
Tents erected around here will
whether
be...
it be tents or otherwise, in terms of the damage to, the city in effect.
Absolutely.
What's being erected.
You don't even need to be so wordy. I'm quite happy to say, for the record, that any property or tents or structures which are placed here in relation to our protest will not and could not, because of the way that we've intended to do things from the start, damage the property of the City of Manchester. We're not here to do that, passively or aggressively. If accidents happen, they'll be reported. Somebody could conceivably trip over the step and chip the corner off the statue or something. I would report that. I would not be interested in sort of hiding it or laughing about it or anything of the sort. Properties that are put up, I'm going to refer to them as properties because they are dwellings, they will be vetted by us. The people that are in those properties we will be aware of who they are and what they are doing there, and they will not do things without permission in terms of pegs. Okay. So how can you... No, you'd have to bring a power drill and everything. Do you have any idea how mad I'd go if I saw somebody doing something like that? Ask every officer who's seen me acting in capacity as liaison officer since last night, and you'll see that I support. When I see the law being broken, when I see anything, no property's been damaged yet, touch wood, but
bless.
should it be,
Well,
I will be
half.
livid. I have shouted more than once at drinkers, right? For example, in full view of cameras, in full view of TAUs, in full view of my own supporters here. I wish to make it clear also that I'm not the centre or the organiser of this movement. I merely saw both sides of the argument when the police turned up, and a lot of people wanted to say F the police and screw the council and all the rest of it, and I said, hang on a minute, no, you know what, these are the 99% too. We are in this together. It's the bankers that you want to be abusing, it's the people that have put the bankers where they are that you want to be abusing, but even then, that's a criminal act. I don't want to get closed down because of the actions of a minority. Simple as. It really is as simple as. And also, we're having a ball here, let's give it a try. You know?
Okay. Just to provide some information in relation to visibility from police.
Yeah.
Clearly what we'll be doing is there'll be a low-key...
I've requested 2 TAUs overnight.
And,
I'm quite happy for you to put TAU there and TAU there as you did last night, and everything will be peaceful.
Appreciate that, but ultimately it's to provide reassurance to yourself, so you don't have any conflict with other members of the public who might have an issue with your protest.
You mean like bankers that might want to kick our signs?
Well, might well be. But also obviously to provide reassurance to the rest of the community.
course,
relation
yeah.
to this is being ultimately monitored.
The two neighbourhood officers that were posted here before you arrived did a very, very good job of dealing with the public, actually, and explaining why we were here and everything. I really support it. So.
Because clearly what might happen is, as you no doubt imagine, we get questions from members of the public in relation to why aren't you doing anything about this? And it's an opportunity for us to explain the rationale behind human rights.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Instead of getting bad press for political policing, you're going to get as much good press as I can give you. It's as simple in return for this. I told him that last night. This is amazing. I'm amazed that you're still stood there smiling at me. You're not going to apply for a court order for a bailiff and all the rest. Constance and Co are not coming in. And we're really grateful for that.
Okay.
We know it's a Labour council as well. That probably helps a bit.
This is going to be a role model for all occupiers across the country, you know.
I'm not a role model.
This discussion is going to be.
We will obviously continue to monitor the development of this site. From a police and local authority perspective.
So you should.
If there's any concerns that we have, you've no issues with us re-approaching you and to discuss.
Your primary point of contact is through me. It will be officially ratified at 11 o'clock or just after. You're more than welcome to wander onto the site and ask for me. The private area at the back, we would appreciate it if some warning was given before the police arrived. But other than that, because there might be discussions taking place or whatever, but other than that, absolutely, approach me.
Your colleagues have to be aware that obviously this is still a designated public place.
It's a public area, which means it's covered by the bylaws and laws of this country, which has been made very clear. It's in the agenda for the meeting. Again, I've expressed that more than once during this conversation, that I shouted at people after the police took here. I told the police, zero tolerance. If you want to arrest, get in there and make those arrests, get them out of my face, because I don't want to have to explain to them, I don't want them on my side and the trouble that ensues.
And that is something that, in terms of that, I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is a designated place.
Definitely.
Location.
Definitely.
Which obviously is, if there's any alcohol-related and social behaviour issues.
Precisely, yeah.
The powers are in place there for police officers to enact that enforcement.
I know. And you've done an admirable job of doing light-handed enforcement, which a lot of the protesters appreciate. I don't. Some of them I would have preferred to have seen removed last night. We might have been a bit fewer in number, but I wouldn't have to deal with the social issues that are going to arise at the meeting regarding people that don't want to have formal titles and responsibilities. You know, if you want to organise something, you've got to organise it. You can't sit around and laugh about it, and then when somebody comes up with a plan, say, oh, well, you want to be the officer. Who do you think you are? No, go and drink in the pub. Go and cause trouble somewhere else. That's the way I see it, honestly.
My stance on this as the commander for this particular area is that in terms of escalations, we're at the lowest level.
Yeah.
Clearly, if we see anything in terms of any criminality, any public order and social behaviour, it will be my instruction by my officers to take positive action in relation to that.
While we're asking questions of each other, I'd like to ask this question, assuming power is granted, which, you know, I do get a fuzzy warm feeling it might be. Sound system. What time can we turn it on? What time do we turn it off? What's the reason for volumes?
Well, what we'll do is we'll take that back.
I don't mind feedback direct either. If you come onto the site and say that's too loud, we'll listen.
From our perspective in relation to, first and foremost, the content of what you actually put out.
Yeah, I remember yesterday.
Yeah, obviously,
that wasn't my sound system, but yeah.
Bear in mind that whatever content is put out, if it does cause offence, distress and alarm, then clearly, from a police perspective, you may well have to
Of course, yeah.
Of
course, some music is plain abusive.
Yeah, however, in relation to the noise levels and that aspect, it will ultimately down to local authority with regards of what that actually looks like.
Well, you're welcome to send the environmental elf down for a listen. Tell us it's too loud, feel free.
Thank you,
We'll turn it down.
We'll feed that through and then obviously we'll engage with you.
Thank you. Again, a last word regarding power. This thing's using power now. It's the primary contact for the site. We want a Facebook, we want a Twitter, we want to let the world know this is what we're doing and that it's peaceful and this is an example to follow. We can't do that without power. Sooner or later, power will turn up. You can either have it shogging up your beautiful windows with diesel, or just provide it and let us pay for it, or provide it and don't let us pay for it. Please, you know, on that front, that's the only thing we ask from you, other than don't evict us.
Taken on board.
Thanks.
You'll have been
Yeah. Thank you.
Right, so just before we conclude, Simon, is there anything that we feel we need to discuss? Is there anything from yourselves as well that you need to ask?
In terms of perimeters of the site and general civil conduct, what are you going to be like? Are you going to be coming searching random people that come in and out, or is it a case of leaving us in peace unless we're causing too much problems?
As I say, in relation to aspects of criminality, if, for example, there's a necessity to search people, it will still fall under the parameters of the section of page search in relation to reasonable grounds
for suspicion.
For suspicion of.
Absolutely. So a party in a tent isn't reasonable grounds for suspicion, but beer cans outside damn well is.
It is, if obviously, because it comes within the parameters.
Absolutely.
With placeholder, and especially if that is also there's aspects of antisocial behaviour.
Absolutely.
So again, we're at a low level in terms of any potential escalation. We're engaging very well. My colleagues and I will obviously speak to our line managers in relation to what's been said today, and then we'll come back and give you some feedback in relation to that.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for your time too. Thanks.